Welcome to all. Friends, today we are going to study the solid state physics means what. Nothing but a solid state physics is the part of physics. In order to know the solid state physics means what, we must know first of all what is meant by the physics. Physics is a subject or it is a branch of science in which we study the material and its physical properties. Suppose we have a matter and we want to know the temperature of this matter. We have to put thermometer or any gauge which measure the temperature of that material or matter partially. Now this is the study of physics. Many things are included in the physics. This is only not the definition, but the simplest way to study the physics means what, the subject physics means what is that the science branch of the science in which we deal with the study of material and its physical properties is known as the physics. This is the simple definition. Many people will told many definitions of the physics, but basically, first of all, we know the branch of physics in which we deal with the study of physical properties of the material is known as physics. Today we are going to know what is meant by solid state physics. We know that there are four states of the matter. First is solid, second is liquid, third is gas, and fourth is plasma. These are the four states of the matter. We are going to study initially the basic facts, definitions of that four stage of the matter. Gaseous means what, liquid means what, and solid state means what. Friends, solid state means is a matter. Every matter consists of atom, and that atoms are arranged inside it. If the distance between the two consecutive atoms is very, very small, the force of attraction between these two molecules is highest, and that's why they are stable in one place. Or in other words, we can say that if the intermolecular distance between the two molecules is less and less, then such material generally is known as the solid. In comparison with the solid, liquid is the another state of the matter. What happens in matter? What happens in liquid? As we know, or as we told earlier, in the solid state, the intermolecular distance is very small. The force of attraction between the two molecules is very high. Therefore, solid have a definite shape, definite size. But in case of liquid, what happens? The distance between the two molecules is greater than the solid, and that's why the force of attraction between the solid is liquid is very small as compared to the solid state. So that what happens, the liquid state doesn't have any shape, doesn't have any size. The liquid acquire a shape of the container in which we add it, and it don't have any definite shape as the solid have a definite shape. Another state is known as the liquid state. What happens in a liquid state? The intermolecular distance between the two molecules is large as compared to the liquid. It is largest than the solid, and that's why the intermolecular attraction between the two molecules is very, 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 very small as compared to liquid and solid. That's why the two intermolecular distance is high. The molecules of the gases are free to move in all directions with all possible velocities. This is the simplest definitions of solid, liquid, and gases. The first difference is that the intermolecular distance is in gases is highest as compared to the liquid. The intermolecular distance between the liquid is highest as compared to the solid. Or in other words, you can say that the distance between the two intermolecular atoms in the solid state is smallest as compared to the liquid and the gases. Due to the force of attraction, solid have a definite shape, liquid doesn't have any definite shape, and gas is free to move. The molecules of the gas is free to move in all possible direction with all possible velocity. Friends, using this definition, we can also say that solid have definite shape, liquid have the shape of container, and gas molecule is free to move in all possible with all possible direction. The force of attraction between the two molecules of the solid state is high, and they melt at one temperature, and therefore we can say that solid have a definite melting point. Solid have a definite melting point. In case of liquid and gases, we can't say like that, but solid have a definite melting point. This is about the solid state and the subject in which, or in the branch of the physics in which we deal with the study of solid state, is known as the solid state physics. First of all, solid state is divided into two parts. One is crystalline solid, and second is non-crystalline solid, or it is known as the amorphous material. What is meant by crystalline solid? As we know, every matter consists of the molecules, and that molecules are arranged at a particular distance, and distance between the two molecules is different to different materials. If the distance between the two molecules is something, then we can say that the distance between the another two conjunctive molecules is the same. That is, in a solid state, we can say that the distance between the two molecules are same, and due to this same distance, if the arrangement of the molecules are at a fixed distance and regular, we can say that the regular, if the molecules are arranged regular in the space 3 dimension, then it is known as the crystal. Then what is meant by crystal? Crystal is nothing but a solid having the molecular arrangement are regular. The regular arrangement is also known as the periodic arrangement. Periodically, we can say that the molecules come at the same distance in all three directions. If you want to know measure the distance between the two molecules, conjugative molecules, and another two conjugative molecules, then we can say that the distance between the two molecules remains same, and if this distance remains same and the arrangement of the molecules are regular, then such material is known as the crystalline material. Another material, we can say that the amorphous material. What happens in the amorphous material? As you know, in the crystalline material, the distance between the two molecules are same. But in another material, that is amorphous material, both are the solid state material. But in amorphous material, what happens? The distance between the two conjugative atoms are not same. It will be different. The distance between two conjugative molecules, if you measure it, and if you measure another distance between the two conjugative molecules, that will not come same, but it is different. And arrangement of the molecule or atom in that particular material is not regular, then such material is known as amorphous material. Then what is the difference between the crystalline material and amorphous material? Crystalline material is a material in which the distance between the two conjugative atoms are same and they are regularly arranged, is known as the crystalline material. And in the amorphous material, if the distance is not same and they are arranged irregularly, or we can say that aperiodic, then such material is known as the amorphous material. Friends, using that definition, we come to the conclusion is that the distance between the two molecules or two atoms in the crystalline material is same, then the force of attraction between the two conjugative molecules are same. That's why if you heated the material, or if you give the temperature of the material, then what happens? On a certain temperature, the crystalline material come into the liquid state. That means the melting point at a fixed temperature is fixed for every crystalline material. And that's why we can say that the crystalline material have the same melting point. But in case of the non-crystalline material, amorphous material, what happens? If you increase the temperature, then that material becomes softer and softer. After some time, what happens? If they become softer and softer, and sometime it changes the state, that is solid to liquid. In case of the material, we can say that crystalline material have a fixed melting point and non-crystalline material doesn't have a fixed melting point. This is the second difference between the crystalline and non-crystalline material. What we can say, crystalline material means the arrangement of the atom inside the material are regular, and non-crystalline materials means if the arrangement of the atom inside the material is not regular, and that's why the melting point of a solid, which is crystalline solid, is fixed, and the melting point of non-crystalline material is not fixed. It will melt at different temperature. In case of solid state material, we can study what is the properties of crystalline material. What is the arrangement of the atom inside the crystalline material. The crystalline material are arranged at a regular distance. Suppose if you draw a figure and if you arrange a point in 3 dimensions, and if you put each atom on each point, then such arrangement is known as the regular arrangement, and it is known as the crystalline material. Crystalline materials is again two types, known as the space, or we can say that it is a lattice in 3 dimensions, lattice in 2 dimensions. What is meant by lattice in 2 dimensions? Lattice in 3 dimensions, it is known as the space lattice and the plane lattice. As you know, the arrangement of the crystal is regular, and if you put the atom on each point in 2 dimensions, then it is known as the plane lattice. But first of all, we know what is meant by lattice. Lattice is a imaginary regular arrangement of point, in a space, then it is known as the space lattice. If the regular arrangement of the point in the plane 2 dimension, it is known as the plane lattice. Then we come to the unit cell means what? This is the main cell, which is known as the unit cell. Unit cell means what? Unit cell means is the smallest cell. It is a small part of the crystal having same physical property within the crystal of each unit cell. That means unit cell is the smallest part of the crystal, and if you put this unit cell on each point of the crystal, on the imaginary point on the plane lattice, then it become a crystal, and that is the regular crystal. In that crystalline material, we also study what is the different kind of arrangements of the unit cell, because in 3 dimensions we can arrange unit cell in all direction, but we have some restriction. We cannot arrange unit cell on each direction as you like, but it has some rules. It has some rules around it, how to arrange the unit cell. We have 14 ways that we can arrange the unit cell in the space, and that 14 arrangement are also known as Bravais' lattice. This 14 Bravais' lattice is combined and made it into 7 arrangement. That 7 arrangement is also known as the Bravais' lattice. That means we can arrange unit cell in only the 7 ways, and that made the particular crystal. This is the most general information. First of all, we know what is meant by the crystalline material. We have to study how many unit cells are there. Some are primitive unit cell, some are non-primitive unit cell also. Primitive unit cell is the simplest cell. That means if the unit cell contain only one atom, then it is known as the primitive unit cell, and this is the simplest cell. Second part is that non-primitive unit cell, and non-primitive unit cell means that the cell which are more than one atom is known as the non-primitive unit cell. Depending upon the primitive unit cell, the cell have three types. One is that simple cubic cell, second is that body center cubic cell, and third is that face center cubic cell. Depending upon the number of atoms, depending upon the arrangement of the atoms in the unit cell, we can categorize this unit cell into three parts. First is the body center, simple cubic unit cell. Second is that body center unit cell, and third is that face center unit cell. I think this is more today as a general introduction. Yesterday we can study also how to make the primary unit cell. Unit cell means what? How that primary unit cells will be arranged in a lattice. What are the types of the lattice? How many types of the lattice? What are the number of atom per unit? How it is calculated? What is Miller indices? I think I will explain all that things in the today's lecture. Thank you very much.